Week 5 of the NFL season is here. Crazy that we're already about a month into the season. But the NFL better have some good games for us on Sunday, considering what they just made us go through last night. Broncos lost to the Colts 12-9 in overtime. Not one touchdown scored, just field goals all game long, and 4 interceptions combined. It was an awful game. But Week 5 predictions, we'll start out with the one in London, Packers versus Giants. I remember watching this game in the playoffs like 6 years ago where Aaron Rodgers completed a crazy Hail Mary before halftime. But I'm going to go with the Packers in this one. Daniel Jones is going to play. I don't think he's going to be fully healthy, but either way, the Packers are coming off of a tough week where they somehow beat the Patriots just barely with their third-string quarterback. But I think the Packers come back to London and they beat the Giants pretty easily. Steelers versus Bills. The spread on this game is -14 Buffalo, which is absolutely insane. That's the biggest spread I've ever seen in a football game in my life. This game's in Buffalo, so it's respectable why it's that large. Kenny Pickett gets his first start, and the one team you don't want to face is probably the Bills for your first NFL start. So I'm going with Buffalo. I do think the Steelers have a fair chance at covering the spread, but I think the Bills should be able to take care of business against a rookie quarterback. Next up with the Chargers and Browns. This was one of the games I was kind of debating to take an upset with Cleveland, but I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. They're coming off of that win versus the Texans, while the Browns are coming off of that tough loss against the Falcons. But I said before the season, I do not trust Jacoby Brissett, especially from my first-hand experience with having him as our starting quarterback. I think the Chargers should easily be able to win this game. Bears versus Vikings. This game's in Minnesota, but one that I was honestly considering to be an upset. They beat the Saints in London last week, and it was a bit concerning. They only beat them by 3 and barely by a game of inches against their backup quarterback and without Kamara, without Michael Thomas, without Jameis Winston. So it's a bit concerning for the Vikings, but against the Bears, like I said, in Minnesota, I really think this shouldn't be a challenge. Lions versus Patriots. I'm not too sure if this is technically an upset, but I'm going with the Patriots in this one. We saw that the Lions, without DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown, can't even be bad teams. They lost to the Seahawks last week. Mac Jones has been seen at practice a couple times this week, so I'm not sure if he's going to be playing Sunday. But if it's not, I even think Bailey Zappi, he kind of impressed me against the Packers last week. I think that the Patriots should be able to win this game against a inexperienced Lions defense. I'm not too sure if this one counts as an upset, but Seahawks versus Saints, I'm going to take Seattle in this one. Like I said, they were able to beat the Lions last week without DeAndre Swift or Amon-Ra St. Brown. This week against the Saints, they're without Jameis Winston. Dennis Allen just said a couple minutes ago in his press conference that Andy Dalton would get the start. I think that Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas are both playing, but either way, I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. I think they have the talent. Geno Smith has been impressive this season. I think he can get the job done in New Orleans. Dolphins versus Jets. MetLife takeover is in full effect this season. Going to be full preview on this game coming tomorrow, like always. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the starter, and will probably still be the best quarterback on the field Sunday. But Jets are going to have a really hard time guarding Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I think one of them is bound to go off. But, yeah, like I said, full preview coming on that game tomorrow. Falcons versus Bucs. This game's in Tampa. Really wanted to take the Falcons in this one, and I actually did at first, but realizing the Bucs lost to the Chiefs last week on Sunday Night Football makes me think that they're really going to want to win this week, and especially against a division opponent. I think that they should be able to get it done in their home field. Falcons always manage to beat the Bucs at least one time every single season, so I thought this could be it, but Bucs are really going to want this win. I think that they should be able to get it. Titans versus Commanders. Pains me that the Commanders lost last week against the Cowboys. I was really high on them. That was my upset of the week, but didn't come through. After it looks like Carson Wentz kind of just fell apart after his 4-touchdown performance in week 1. So I'm going to go with the Titans in this one, who are coming off of a win against the Colts. It looks like that offense is starting to kind of come together. Derrick Henry had a really nice game last week. Ryan Tannehill only had like 3 incompletions, and he had a really solid game. I think the Titans can win this one. I think they should. Texans versus Jags, and it is time for our upset of the week. Give me the Texans winning this game. Jaguars have been really hyped up lately. I know that they kind of got their L handed to them by the Eagles last week, but I have a really good feeling that the Texans are going to pull this through. I know the Jags are going to get heavily betted on and heavily picked on, but I think the Texans are going to pull this one through. Kind of one of those gut feelings. I don't really know how to explain it. I just have a really good feeling the Texans are going to win this game. Moving on, 49ers versus Panthers. Panthers' offense has not been looking good all season. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to hire Ben McAdoo at offensive coordinator, but looks like him and Matt Rule are both going to be heading out the door after the season. 49ers played pretty well last week against the Rams on Monday Night Football. I thought Jimmy Garoppolo may not be able to be that guy, but apparently he is. Against this Panthers defense, who has been even playing that well this season, I think they should be able to do well. This defense, though, I think that will be the main factor in this game. The line should be able to go off, a couple sacks there. The secondary should have a couple interceptions. I think this should be a defensive. I think this will be a low-scoring game, as the 49ers should be able to blow out the Panthers. Cowboys versus Rams. I really wanted to take the Cowboys in this one, but I'm going to go with the Rams, coming off of, like I said, that loss on Monday Night Football to San Francisco. I want to say Cooper Rush is starting again this week, who's 3-0 this season as a starter, but he has not faced a team like the Rams yet, and now going against this defense, I think he's going to realize what a good team feels like. So I think the Rams will be able to win this game. I think Prescott, though, will make his return next week, so that is something to watch out for. Eagles versus Cardinals. The Eagles are starting to make me feel like they are the version of the last, or 2 years ago, Cardinals, who went undefeated. They were like 8-0 or something, only to lose in the wild card round, or kind of like the Steelers from the year before that, where they went 11-0 and then lost in the wild card. I think the Eagles do win this game, though. Like I said, I think that they're going to really start out on a hot streak. I think they maybe go 8-0 or 9-0 or something, and obviously they're the talk of the NFL, number one on power rankings. But come playoff time, we will see what this team is really like. I think they're young, so it's not like a championship or bust season, but I think that they will be disappointed in the first round of the playoffs. Next up, Bengals versus Ravens. Really, really fun divisional matchup on Sunday Night Football. I'm going to go with the Bengals in this one. The Ravens cannot keep a lead. Week 2 had a 21-point lead going into the fourth quarter against Miami. They ended up losing that game. Last week against the Bills, they were up 17 at one point. They ended up losing that game. This defense has got to get it together. And if they don't, this Bengals team is going to feast. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, all these guys are going to have at least one touchdown this week. It's going to be a fun divisional matchup to watch for, but I think that the Bengals do win this one. Lamar Jackson has been on a tear in his contract season, but like I said, I think the Bengals offense is going to be too dominant for this Ravens defense, who has not been playing well this season at all, especially that secondary. And to finish off the week, Monday Night Football, fun other divisional matchup between the Chiefs and the Raiders, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. The Raiders have not looked good at all this season, other than last week, which was more the Broncos not looking good than the Raiders looking good. The Chiefs, though, have been looking good this season. Mahomes is probably your unanimous MVP, or maybe not unanimous, but he's probably your MVP if the season were to end today. So the Chiefs have been really good, even without Tyreek Hill. The Raiders, like I said, have not. In a divisional matchup, this one's going to be an important one. I think the Raiders dropped to 1-4. Crazy to think that this season has just been falling apart. Forgot to mention my record was 9-7 last week, and in total this season, I'm 36-28. So I'm looking to go 16-0 this week. Probably not going to happen, but there's always that chance. Either way, that'll wrap up. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.